start with the original monument in Belzec. You know, I can't get Belzec out of my head, as you probably understood. And it says, in memory of the victims of fascist terror murdered in the years 1942 and 1943. That's how Belzec used to look. That was one monument. That was all there was. And you see people left candles there. The people, Jews really didn't know what to do. A terrible sculpture. It's not clear whether the person on the left is pushing down the person in the middle or helping him up. Maybe that ambiguity is deliberate. But whatever it is, it's not... doesn't say, I don't know, maybe some people like it. I never found anybody who actually liked that sculpture. I certainly didn't, but maybe some people do. That's where we start from. The murder of Jews in the Holocaust in Poland, unmarked as Jewish places. But on the other hand, nothing is black and white. During communist times, there was also this kind of stuff. They found a few fragments of tombstones and just set them on a bed of concrete in the Jewish cemetery. And that functions in two ways simultaneously. One of them says, this is still a Jewish cemetery, and it's also saying, this is a monument to the shattering of Jewish life in the Holocaust. It's got two meanings at the same time. Simple, effective, artistic, not expensive, and very dignified is how I would rate that kind of initiative. Other Jewish monuments, other Holocaust monuments. This is unusual. This is an entire... You remember the tabernacle we saw in several pictures? Here is the whole synagogue was burnt down and only the tabernacle remained. But look, it's got bollards around it, right in the city centre, and they treat it, it's preserved as a ruin in tribute, A, to the Jewish past of their town, and B, as a tribute to the Holocaust destruction. So that ruin stands as a double meaning, a double signifier, and that's strong. There are now new monuments in the forests. This is the new monument at Belzec, the entry gate to the new monument at Belzec, written in Hebrew, English, and Polish. For the first time now you're getting English in the last 10 years now. Also in Auschwitz you're getting English. Restoration of cemeteries, just look, these projects, massive projects to restore cemeteries. I have to show you this one. This is actually a Jew not from California but from Texas, but he could have been from California. This is how he restores his Polish Jewish cemetery. I actually rather like it. People might say, it's not very Polish, is it? And surely he could have done something a bit more, you know, appropriate to the Polish environment. But actually, I think if that's what he wanted to imagine, and he's done it very nicely. The remaining tombstones are up there at the back. He's done it, I think, very nicely. I think all credit to him. Sometimes the Jewish synagogues are treated badly. I think this sort of thing shouldn't happen. It's a way of erasing the memory. It isn't dignified to have a synagogue, the only synagogue in the town centre, Kalwaria Zebrzydowska, madam, if you want to know where that is. There should be something to prevent that kind of crass commercialism, I think. But anyway, that's just my view. Tourism. Now, new Hebrew signs coming up for the new tourism in Krakow. This Hebrew sign is, of course, brand new, the Ariel Cafe, advertising guided tours to Schindler's List and trips to Auschwitz-Birkenau, books on Jewish culture. Poland is really beginning to be very, very welcoming and a Jewish-friendly place to visit. This is the Jewish Student Society. If Polish neo-Nazis can have anti-Semitic graffiti, so the Jewish students can have anti-Nazi graffiti, and that's one famous one of theirs. There is a big festival in Krakow. 20,000 people come, supported by the Krakow municipality. The Taube Foundation here in California supports this, where for a whole week there are Jewish concerts, festivals, lectures, exhibitions, all kind, and then open-air concert on the last night, right in front of the old synagogues in Krakow. So lastly, really last, I found in 1988 a synagogue in the town of Auschwitz. It's a story, it's unbelievable. I found it, I was walking around and I found a synagogue. I'm sure, convinced, 100% positive, I was the first foreigner to know there was a synagogue, an old synagogue still surviving in Auschwitz. In the town of Auschwitz, 1 mile from the concentration camp. Ushpicin in Hebrew, Oświęcim in Polish, 60% Jewish majority in 1939. I found this building was convinced it was a synagogue. Long, long story, got restored, said, I have to have this place restored. Long, long story. Of course, there was an American Jew from New York who commissioned the restoration of that synagogue. It's got a synagogue in it, it's got a cultural center, it's got an exhibition space, it's got computer terminals where people can research the history of things, and it has a place where local school children can exhibit their drawings and paintings of Jewish life. I found this particular painting absolutely wonderful. This is my last slide. We know who it was who did it. It's a 16-year-old girl from the town of Oświęcim, Polish girl. And there is her image, 16 years old. Is this the past? Is it the future? Are we sure that the girl on the right is Polish? She probably is supposed to be given her long ponytail, which was not a Jewish custom, or maybe she imagined it might have been. The boy on the left is for sure Jewish with his skull cap. Walking towards the future, walking away from the past, walking back into the past, a sense of hope, a sense of reconciliation. It's charming, his arm around her. I don't know, it's full of possible meanings. It doesn't matter. It was painted by a 16-year-old Polish girl from the town of Oświęcim, Auschwitz. As far as I'm concerned, the legacy and the signs of respect and dignity for the very complicated Polish-Jewish legacy, which nobody knows what to do with, except in a very random and uncoordinated way. There are some wonderful restorations, there are some terrible ruins, but the signs are looking up.